Hi folks, Doc Hanley here again. Today I'm going to talk about panic attacks, and the title of this segment is Panic Attacks Don't Panic, because I'm going to talk about dealing with panic attacks. Panic attacks are horrible. Of course, the overriding theme of my channel is finding your own individual paradise, and believe me, if you're suffering from panic attacks, you do not have paradise. It's one of the worst feelings. It is the worst feeling I have ever experienced. As a matter of fact, a panic attack, although it's a mental affliction, it is just as disturbing as intense physical pain. And I know people that have never had a panic attack find that hard to believe, but it is really just a sense of impending doom. It's just like a horrible, worse than your worst nightmare. I can't describe it. If you've ever been claustrophobic, it's like claustrophobia on steroids. It's horrible. And panic attacks, though, usually happen for some reason in the middle of the night, maybe 2 or 3 a.m. And you can wake up and all of a sudden you just feel horrible, just like you're going to be crushed any moment, and you feel like there's no way out, there's no escape from it. It's that horrible. And I used to have a lot of panic attacks when I was younger, and now very seldom. It's probably been 3 or 4 years since I've had a panic attack. And I'm going to tell you what I've done to avoid panic attacks. Uh, that There are a lot of things that can cause panic attacks. Mental anguish will cause a panic attack. If you've, say, got a new job or moving to a new home, you got monetary problems, legal problems, marital problems, whatever kind of problems you might have can trigger a panic attack. And also, physical afflictions can cause a panic attack. If you're in chronic pain or have sudden onset pain, I know my brother had never had a panic attack. He was probably 60 something years old. He called me about 2 a.m. He didn't know what was happening. He thought the world was coming down on top of him. I mean, he had no idea what a panic attack was, had never heard of it. And all of a sudden he was having one. And so we load up and go to Walmart when Walmart was open all night and just walk around. And if you can walk around and get a distraction, eventually that will make the panic attack subside. It'll be somewhat uncomfortable until it goes away, but not nearly as uncomfortable as it is if you just lie there in total terror. So getting a distraction, watch TV or walk around, that's one element of dealing with a panic attack. Uh, what I've learned to do to deal with panic attacks, I think would apply to most people who have panic attacks. Now, some people have panic attacks all their lives, and I'm sure they've tried everything under the sun and nothing works. So probably what I do won't work for them. But if you're like me and you had periodic panic attacks, and when you'd have one, you'd dread having the next one, and the next one might be 1 month or 6 months, but it would come back again. So anyway, we're going to talk about how I've dealt with panic attacks and how I think it would probably work for you as well. As I said, the number one technique is distraction. For me, it's walking around. I'd wake up sometimes at 2 a.m. I'd go outside and walk around and around the house. And then finally, I discovered medication. I'd never taken a tranquilizer in my life, never needed one, I thought. But I found out that tranquilizers are great for combating panic attacks. And so if I have another panic attack, and I don't know if I'll ever have another one or not, because once you start dealing with them effectively, then the panic attacks seem to subside. But anyway, I take a tranquilizer called clonazepam, which works wonders for me, and I would recommend it highly. Of course, all tranquilizers are prescription drugs, so you need to talk with your general practitioner. Say, hey, look, I'm having panic attacks and I need a good tranquilizer. The only thing is, taking a tranquilizer, you don't need to drive a car, and if you take a tranquilizer at night, probably in 30 minutes you'll be asleep. But and about 30 minutes is about how long it takes to overcome a panic attack. If you get up and walk around and take a tranquilizer, you'll settle down in about 30 minutes, and you'll be as good as new. And so anyway, panic attacks, they're terrible. And those of you who have never had one, I hope you never have one, because I can't think of anything really more terrible than having a full-blown panic attack. And as I said, those of you who've had them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you've never tried walking around or watching TV or getting distracted and taking a tranquilizer, I hope you'll do it, because that has pretty much cured me from panic attacks. Once I started doing that, they got less and less frequent. As I said, it's been a long time since I've had one. One bonus of having a good tranquilizer, I'm also, from time to time, not very often, I'll have restless leg syndrome. If you don't know what that is, you lie down, you're getting comfortable, and your legs start aching. Well, you move them, and